Hey guys, it's Mal here once again. Now, I was away all weekend while the announcements and all that sort of shit was going on for the new expansion of Path of Exile, Atlas of Worlds, which is coming in September 2nd, about 15 days, something like that from now. And long story short, I think it looks really cool. I'm pretty happy with what the ending game update they're offering us is. The Atlas looks very fun to navigate, at least first of all. And depending on how the bosses and the maps go in the endest of endgame, it could be a great challenge and plenty of lots of fun, or it could just be, I don't know, more of the same, different league, some new builds, whatever. In any case, I didn't really have a chance to have a look at the announcements and all that because I was away, but I did do that on a stream today with a lot of you guys, and those that weren't there, feel feel free to watch this upcoming video just to see my thoughts on the trailer, the interview video with Chris Wilson, and just what they've announced so far. So it's just my impressions on the announcements and all that, and yeah, up to you if you want to watch that. If not, that's cool too. Enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Watch trailer. I thought the trailer was pretty cool when I saw it, but need to give it another watch.
In the void between worlds, where the seeds of creation swirled before my eyes.
I don't know, when you see the game like slowed down to the point of even frozen, it actually looks like a super cool fucking game. We just obliterate everything instantly these days. So it's all like lost. Explore the Atlas of Worlds. The fucking Kraken! A crab. A dildo. Yeah. The new layouts and shit look pretty cool. That ledge sort of thing. Looks awesome. Add mods to the Atlas. Upgrade your maps. Nice, nice.
Countless worlds of promise and potential. Verdant canopies that shroud the world in darkness.
Time to ignore every layout and just flick a strike through everything instantly.
And silent.
That looks pretty cool as well.
Dancing flames that never rest.
That too. Yeah, I like the layers, like the ledge type shit. It reminds me of D2 Act 2, more or less. Which is just, yeah. Massive goat. That's Spectre throwing fucking soul takers? That's what it looked like.
Holding the crucible of life itself.
That looks cool.
Mind to bend, break, and reshape. My crowning achievement. My Atlas of Worlds.
September 2. They do know their way around a fucking trailer and like, yeah, hype video. Tell you what. So yeah, that's pretty fucking cool, man. Right, so we're looking at this, are we? Uncover the Atlas of Worlds. Use the Atlas of Worlds to guide travels as you delve deeper into Path of Exile's map system. As you explore the Atlas, you gain the ability to upgrade maps and even add mods to the Atlas itself. Upgrades a map on the Atlas by 5 fucking tiers. Add a mod to a map on the Atlas. So is that like, you know, a detrimental mod? The add? And that gives you quantity and pack size or some shit? Or is it just cool shit like, you know, just add rarity on there or exiles? God fucking damn it. But, yeah, that looks awesome. It's a bit small. Watch the vid. Ah, Jesus, come on. Nice. LOL, using claws in PoE must have a shit build. Unless they fixed him by this guy's build point in the game. Is he really using a Flesh Ripper? Why? Why is he using a Flesh Ripper? Did they fix Axe Crit? That it's actually fucking viable? And they're making a Marauder wear this entire set with like a bandana? Man, it just looks strange. Pretty cool though. Big ass Minotaur dude. Legion, yeah. That is a bit rough, isn't it? Legion coming out like a couple days before. Really kinda puts you in a tough spot. Yeah, it's a cool bow skin. Cool character in general. Fuck is that supposed to be? Sleep? And then this badass. Yeah, pretty cool looking guys. So let's say defeat 19 new bosses. Fight your way through over a dozen new boss encounters to face the 4 guardians of Void and earn your right challenge Shaper himself. Cool as. Explore 30 new maps, largest ever update in terms of new areas to explore, at least by almost 50%. Yeah, that's quite a lot. Alright, what do we have? Ribbons? We sure do. Now, that doesn't tell us too much. This one? Oh cool, Necrovigil's still in the game. Who's excited for fucking that? New monster? And yeah, like I said, this kind of reminds me of D2's Act 2 style, I think, kinda. Sans, different levels. Look at those falling blades. That's pretty sweet. Face when ignored. I'm not ignoring anyone, man. Fucking hard to watch, see every message while I'm trying to do this. So hello, Cody. And my weekend was alright. What? Val City map? S6. Estuary. Fuck's an estuary. High Gardens and a forge? A forge. Damn, forge sounds dope. Must be near the end of the trailer there was a forge looking thing. Yeah, more eyes. How would that help? If I had like 8 eyes right now, all 8 of them would be looking at this fucking Atlas of Worlds page trying to decipher shit. So what's this? Pretty cool looking claw thing, eh? Hopefully there's actually something to do with that. We can actually play claws, because claws are super cool in this game. Bone helmet. Nice. That looks pretty good. Minions do 40% damage, no one gives a fuck, but bone helmet looks cool. Steel ring is a brand new level 80 ring, so just a better iron ring. The power creep is real, boys. Looks pretty good. An Obscurantis Lion Pelt. Right, I remember looking at this thing, and yeah, the Juggernaut synergy is off the charts. Juggernaut Ranger synergy. Fucking massive. Right? If you know where to strike, you need only strike once. Yeah, fair enough. And what's this? A Midnight Blade sword. 73 to 127. What's that for DPS? 150 times 1.3. Pretty shitty DPS. Probably up to like 200, low 200s. Okay. 100% increased burning damage if you ignite an enemy recently. So, fucking always. 100% increased melee physical damage against ignited enemies. Okay. Now that thing's actually kind of interesting. Could build something around that. Quickly cooled the steel, but never could it forget the heat of the forge. Nice flavor text. Berserker t-shirt? No, we're talking about a Juggernaut, I think. You know? So that all of you can stack massive amounts of accuracy, and all of your accuracy gives you projectile attack damage and attack speed. So then you're actually a fucking beast. And the helm's not too bad, I guess. 51 life's a bit low. Could go high though. Who knows? Oh, the flavor text? Nope. Performance improvements. We've performance improved. Cool. The Atlas supporter pack. Buy it now. I thought they looked pretty cool, but what happens if you click on this? Oh, no shit. Got videos. Minotaur one. Yeah. The helm looks cool. The helm looks cool. The Hydra? Is that what this one is? Hydra or something? I think that looks alright too. Bit fat, bit chunky. Is that a bow MTX or fucking new bow skin or something? It's got a little dragon head at the front. Is this one? The fuck are those? I want them. God damn it, there better be some serious claw fucking upgrades and updates in this patch. Or expansion. I'm gonna be so fucking salty. It's making you so hyped for everything claw. Oh, that's the MTX, isn't it? Yeah, the spinning blades is the MTX. Still, I want to use claws, they look sick. Synergizes well with claws, if you ask me. Spins straight through your hand, just constantly cutting you up. Yeah, why not? And, this. Holy crap, those fucking Phoenix flames look sick. Look at him. It's like a holographic Pokemon card. It's too fat though. I think you're way too fat in this set. It's not bad. It's not gonna get my $400 because never gonna happen. But I think it looks good. Fat shaming. I mean, hey, yeah. Not my fault. All of Exiles in Rayclass look better when they're thin. What do you want me to do about that? The Essence Challenge League. The launch of Atlas also marks the start of our latest 3-month Challenge League Essence. Counter groups of monsters trapped by an ancient force. Okay. Break them out to steal their essence, then use these to craft powerful items. There are 25 different types of essence with up to 7 power levels each, creating deadly encounters with tantalizing rewards. Socketed gems have +5 critical strike chance. Yep. God, I'd totally put my fucking Orb of Storms in there or some shit, or Blade Vortex. As a remnant of corruption corrupts the essences, trapping a monster, modifying them unpredictably. Oh, cool. That's just what I need. To brick more 6-link shafts. Since a horror, greed, contempt, torment. Alright, horror. Upgrades a normal item to a rare or reforges a rare. I'm guaranteeing one property. Weapon. So it's like a Chaos Orb, but with one constant. Sick. 10% chance to gain power, frenzy, or endurance on kill. That's fucking sweet. Good luck making a weapon with that though, if it's like that. 15% of physical damage taken as cold damage. Socketed gems deal 40% more elemental damage in the helm. 40% more is huge. You can make a pretty sweet Rhyme Gaze 6 link out of that, basically. Quiver adds 4 to 8 cold damage per frenzy charge. That's kind of lackluster compared to the rest, but still can be good. 15% increased effect to Fortify on you. That's not bad. 4 to 8 cold damage per frenzy charge. Man, the frenzy synergy is out of control. And 5% additional physical damage reduction during a flask effect. Belt. Yeah, that actually seems somewhat reasonable to make. Belts aren't too hard. Lock prefixes with masters and then use it. I have to watch some shit video.
What's up, everybody?
Shut up. Alright. Deafening Essence of Greed. Is normal to a rare, reforged around and guaranteeing one property. Oh, so it's just the same sort of shit again. So they're all the same sort of shit. I see. 45 and below. Weapon, leached his life. That's kind of fucking useless. 120 to 160 life. That's huge. Whole bunch of life shit, and that's pretty good. Fizz attack damage, leeches life on quiver, that's fucking useless. Belt, increase life recovery, yeah, that's useless. Life regenerate per second, fucking useless. Some good stuff, some average stuff. Can't use essences on yanks. Did I say you could? Oh, right, no, I was saying Rhyme Gaze, wasn't I? Yeah, oh well. Fuck it. Make a nice 5 link out of it then still. Upgrades, a normal item to rare with one guaranteed. Yep, one hand weapon. Some deeps. Some pretty average deeps anyway. Upgrades a normal item to rare with one guaranteed property. Oh. And then what? Bunch of reflect. That's pretty strange. And a bunch of weird shit there too. Alright, let's watch some dumpster video.
Everybody, James Duggan here with Chris Wilson of Grind Gear Games, and we are checking out Path of Exile, specifically the new expansion patch. What do
Yeah, so there's that. Is that a boss or just a mob? Got the exact same mechanics as Vault so far.
Atlas of Worlds.
Wonderful. So, explain the map system, because this whole Atlas of Worlds kind of hinges around the map system and what that can do.
So in Path of Exile, the map system is the end game, and you essentially find maps like this item here, which you can put on this map device.
It is interesting. They went from like oval shapes into a square to a circle. Why keep changing it like that?
In order to open portals that allow you to explore the map. And using our crafting system in the game, you can add mods to these maps. So for example,
I do think the circles look best so far though, but need some constants in my life. And the map icon changing this often is just fucking blowing my mind.
If I use this item on the High Gardens map, it adds a variety of mods, and I can re-roll these and randomize it, find ones that are good for my player, maybe even trade that to other players and then play that map.
Right, and these have exponentially increasing rewards. They're also randomized, and we can see all the affixes that are going to take place.
Yes, that's correct.
Wonderful.
So in Atlas of Worlds, we've completely revamped and reimagined the endgame map system, and this involves adding a whole ton of maps, but also adding the Atlas of Worlds itself, which is this user interface here.
Also, default Portal MTX. Hate Wave. Pretty good, man. No hate for my rock. Yeah, but... Right. Stuff. Already said. Stuff. Alright, so we've started, and what, you start from any corner? All the corners?
That shows you your progress through the mapping system. So each one of the maps you complete is an extra pip on here, and you get to find maps that are adjacent to these ones as you explore the Atlas.
Sure, and are there kind of exponentially increasing challenges as you get closer towards the center, or is there some kind of progression through this larger map of randomized instances?
Well, I'll show you the full map. This is a copy of the
Spoilers.
unhidden one. So there's 100 maps on here, and that's because we've increased the map base by over 50%, from just under 70 to over 100, and also revamped a lot of the old maps. And the way this basically works in a nutshell is you continue to find random maps just like you always did, but the ones that you find are ones that you've either completed before or ones that are adjacent to the one that you're playing in. So you can start in the 4 different corners, the top left, the bottom left, and so on, and as you play through, you're going to find maps that you've previously completed, so you can kind of increase your map base of maps that are available to you to find, as well as progressing towards the center where there are these 4 final boss fights that lead on to a 5th complete final boss fight.
Ooh, very exciting. So what are the rewards looking like for this? Because this looks like quite the undertaking, which I'm sure your player base is more than willing to go through.
Yes, I'm sure they are. So in terms of rewards, these 4 final boss fights have their own unique items that you can find there, and the 5th one, which we're not showing today, has a bunch of interesting stuff you can find, but we've also gone and added specific base items to various points in the Atlas. So for example, this helmet here, a bone helmet, is a new base type in the game, and this one is specialized around minions.
Man, they're not doing a good job of making you want to play Cleave, huh? Like, the whole problem with Cleave right now is that you basically only attack in front of yourself and fucking miss everything, like, 6 yards away. And that's exactly what is happening there.
Now, normally we don't have base types that are for specific builds, but here's an example of a new one. And we've put this in the Atlas. I'll just show you on the large picture. This one is in the cemetery area, which you can see towards the top here. The various maps around there will allow you to find that type of item. And we've sprinkled a whole bunch of new base types throughout the Atlas, and this means that players are encouraged to play in various areas that interest them. Maybe the items are appropriate for their build, maybe the bosses are ones they're equipped to handle, maybe the maps there are ones they like the layout of. And that means there's not necessarily the same pressure there is to push forward to just fight the final boss. And there's a few mechanics I'd like to talk about that allow you to actually change the Atlas and upgrade it in various ways to make those maps even better for you.
Sure, yeah. Can we do that while we check out one of the new tile sets?
Sure, so I'll show you a couple of new maps to start with. The first one I'd like to show you is the Oasis map, and this is in the desert area of the Atlas, and similar-ish areas are associated, so you can kind of progress through a variety of different tile sets.
Yeah, I mean, by that, baseline comparison, that, what was the fucking Goddess Unleashed Reeve build actually looks kind of alright.
And once again, this tile set is getting you closer to that kind of end goal of the 4 bosses plus the secret 5th boss, but also it may just be an area of interest depending upon your build and archetype.
Certainly. So this is a new desert in the game, and we have quite a lush environment going on here. So while I'm fighting the monsters, you'll see I get to encounter tropical trees and grass, and there's an oasis itself in this map. Now, like all of the new maps we've added, there are lots of interesting new boss fights. There's a total of 30 new maps and 19 new boss fights that we've added in this expansion. So I'll show you another one for variety, which also has a cool boss fight I'd like to show off. So this one here is the Val City map. Now, this is an interesting one because it's a fusion of indoor and outdoor level generation. But historically, Path of Exile just had indoor areas versus outdoor areas. But here, in addition to an outdoor place with lots of cliffs and ravines and so on, we have a ruined city which you're able to play in and fight the monsters there. So here's something that's generated with indoor level generation rules, but in an outdoor tile set.
Wonderful.
Mind fucking blown.
So in order to show you the boss fight of this, I'll just use a cheat to skip ahead to the boss, you know, to save some time playing through the map.
Milady.
These cheats do not work on the live realm, thankfully. So here we're
Vac? Oh, there you go. Crispy cheese. Include 2 month reset. Fucking vacked his way here.
fighting Lady Stormflame. Now she's a lightning-themed boss, and her gimmick basically is that as I do damage to her, or she does damage to me in this case, she can create a lot of ground lightning, which is very, very difficult for me to, very dangerous for me to stand in. So you'll notice in a few seconds as I get her down further, the ground lightning starts to occur, and this crawls across the
Yeah,
ground. It's
okay.
very dangerous. It does damage to me in shocks, and so I have to be very careful during this fight, especially because I have this vulnerability curse on me, that I kill her without standing in the ground lightning.
So a lot of telegraphs, a lot of areas that you don't want to stand in. What's
Yes.
always interesting, and there we go. This is
Yep.
I don't know. It doesn't look like the boss is gonna survive any longer than half a second to do all that shit anyway. So I sure hope he or they, you know, increase boss health substantially.
whenever you come off to show new content, which is always upper echelon content, very challenging content, you have yet to live through an entire demo. But I think that's indicative of the challenge the players can expect, which
Yes,
is very fun.
it's certainly very dangerous, and a map like that is not a low-level content of this game. You know, it takes a while to play through and hit the end game here.
Yeah, no, nice fucking Quicksilver Flask, Chris Wilson. That's why you died right there.
And so the third map I wanted to show you was this one here, the Estuary. Now this is my personal favorite, and I like it because it combines the concepts of fire and ice in one map. So we have, in certain areas of the game, we have a shore like this, where you can run along and you know, see a bunch of water, and we also separately have areas where there are lava. And in this map, there's an ocean of both lava and an ocean of water close together. And this pervades the whole theming of the map, you know, choices of
Yeah.
signature monsters and so on. But it also means that the boss fight that we've added has an interesting mechanic where it mixes fire and ice together. So I'll show you that one really quickly.
Very cool.
Pretty cool.
Okay, so we walk across to the boss. Now,
Pretty
As
cool
you
layout,
look,
yeah.
We were talking about, you know, the fact that this is endgame content, and I think what is indicative of a good action RPG
Jesus.
is not just statistical difficulty in the bosses getting, you know, having a higher health pool, dealing more damage, but also this mechanical depth that we see. These telegraphs kind of needing to have mastery of your mobility skills as well as your defensive cooldowns. I think that's all very fun.
yes, that's very true. And this character here, it really helps to be prepared because you're taking a barrage of both fire and cold spells. But what happens halfway through the fight, once you've done enough damage to him, is that he actually splits out into 2 separate golems, a fire golem and an ice golem, and you have to deal with them together.
Oh,
And so
twin
quite
robot
Whoa.
action.
yeah, quite a lot of the fight takes place where you
Did
have to
love
deal with
that.
both of these monsters. So there they are.
Ah, he's
They're
got
just
early
ice
reflect.
pressure
Fuck
in a second,
that.
And there it goes.
And he's a
So
soul
you
leader.
have to be very careful as you're fighting these.
Okay,
And
cool.
I like this map because it helps exemplify the theme of this one. You know, there's an ocean of fire, there's an ocean of cold, and we've got that in the boss fight. And we've tried very hard to hit that quality level with the rest of the new content in this expansion.
Wonderful. So, in addition to all of that, there are new exotic items, or exotic new items,
Yes.
that you've introduced. So, whenever there is a challenge, there is a reward that is hopefully worthy of the challenge. So can
Certainly.
you talk a little bit about
Sure, I'll show you some of the interesting stuff you can find. I'm just going to switch character to the Scion I've prepared for this. So an example of 2 items that you can find here,
Want to see that actually?
with the interesting stuff you can find, I'm just going to switch character to the...
What has he got? All the 85s? Essence League, Atlas 2 League, Girlist B. Alright.
Scion I've prepared for this. So an example of 2 items that you can find here are these, the Cartographer's
Wait, why did he make a sun? Why is he wearing that? Oh, Essence Drain. Looks like he's seen my videos.
Sextant and the Shaper's Orb. And the way this works is the Atlas itself has maps on it, as you know. Now, if you've played, say, the Dry Peninsula map here, and you enjoyed it, but it's just too low level for you, you know, it's maybe a tier 3 map, and you're fighting tier 8 and 9 maps, and it's just not challenging enough. It doesn't drop enough items. It's not high enough
Sure.
level. You have the ability now to upgrade it. So you can use the Shaper's Orb, which you get as a reward for completing maps, and I can upgrade the Dry Peninsula map, and this now makes it 5 levels higher. I mean, the user interface here is a bit of a work in progress. By release, we'll have this making it much clearer. But the Dry
was gonna
Peninsula
say.
map has now been upgraded to a higher tier, and that means that I can specialize in finding maps that I want to be very high level. Like I can take the Gorge map that's really popular and make it a very high level Gorge by adding 5 levels to it. This also means that if exclusive items are dropping in that map, they're now higher level versions of those items.
Great.
In a similar way, I can use the Cartographer's Sextant to
Great.
modify the atlas by adding properties to maps. So,
Do
for
it.
example, I've added a property to the Strand map, which
Has one additional random property. 5 uses remaining. Wait, so what? You run Strand 5 times and it has one additional property each time?
says that whenever I run it, or any other maps within that radius, it gets an additional random map mod. And I'll apply another one to this one here. So this says that the Dunes map and one's
Drops one additional unique item. Dope. One additional random property. Also, it overlaps as well.
near it, the boss drops an additional unique item. Now this is a great one to roll in the demo because it's very rare and very evocative for players. But it means that if I were to run, say this Strand map here, or maybe this unique map here, or this Dunes map, that I would receive those benefits up to 5 times.
And the Venn
That's pretty cool.
diagram in there, yeah, you were
Yes.
saying the effects are multiplicative there.
Absolutely.
Great.
So if there's a map that you really want to do, and you pile on these mods all around it in a big circle, then you get all of those effects on the map as you play it. And that means you can really ramp up the risk and reward of what you're getting. And there's a lot of interesting new stuff for you to find while you're doing this.
Great. That sounds like a very granular progression, which is always
Yeah, I think
good,
that's awesome.
as opposed to just this is really hard all of a sudden. I think that's really cool that
Certainly.
players can kind of tailor their challenge.
Yeah,
and
it
it
was
helps a
rigged.
lot on your way to the final boss fights, of which
Probably
we have
is.
one that we can show you today. It helps have things and reasons to play these maps and specialize them on the way, because we don't just want players to rush forward to the highest level content. We want them to take the other content in the game, raise it up to be incredibly difficult, content of their choice that is, and then specialize in doing that.
Oh man, watch these falling rocks do like way too much fucking damage. This is like what, a juggernaut with 8 endurance charges? A taste of hate, fortify, all that shit.
And it means that if you pick a part of the atlas that you like and make it your own, be the guy with the best gorge map on the server, people are going to be coming to play it with you so they can take advantage of the mods that you've earned.
So this endgame system, the maps, now has an enormity of content that's been added to it, both in terms of maps, in terms of bosses, and in terms of items. But talk a little bit about your kind of recurring seasonal leagues, which are kind of the idea of re-rolling and starting new in the context of other players doing the same thing with a unique rule set. So this time it's the Essence League.
That's correct. So we run new challenge leagues every 3 months in Path of Exile. They're an economic fresh start. They're optional, you don't have to play in them. Many people choose to play their old character.
Best gorge on the server. Taking 0 damage, dude. They've got a mortal call up most of the fucking time.
characters, but if you start off in the Essence League, it gives you the ability to be on an equal footing with all the other players. Maybe you're new to Path of Exile, maybe you're returning and you want to show just how good you are, so it's a good opportunity to play in a new league for 3 months. Now I can show you a character briefly in the Essence
Please.
League here, which will show how it works. Now I have to stress, the game is fully random, right? I might not run into the content I'm looking for on this character, and it's really interesting in demos to to completely fail to show off the new content sometimes. But essentially, the way the Essence League works is as you play through the game, you encounter groups of monsters that have been trapped by an ancient force. I'm just going to use a cheat to warp to a group of them that's hopefully in this level. So here's a good example. So I'll just kill some of the other monsters that are around them. Now you notice that group of monsters there are trapped by crystals of what looks like ice, and these are monsters that are imprisoned by this essence. And so here in this
Whispering Essence of Greed, Wailing Essence of Torment.
lucky case, there are 2 essences, Whispering Essence of Greed and Wailing Essence of Torment. Now there are 25 different flavors of essence in the game, where Greed and Torment are 2 examples. So upon finding these monsters, I can bust them out. So I click on it and I gradually free it from the ice.
Bust 'em
and
out,
then I
Chris
get a
Wilson.
fight where I have to fight the monsters. Now you can see all these effects going off, and that's because there's there's several different essences that are affecting the fight, and each of the 25 flavors causes
fuck.
different types of things to occur. There are also 7 different power levels of essences, and so this means that as you play through, you can find better and better versions of the various ones that you've seen.
Wait, so like trap builds are going to be insane for that? Throw down a bunch of traps, click them, they spawn. You don't have to fight anything.
So I'll
Like,
quickly try
it's basically a strongbox.
to take down this boss before he takes me down.
So these
You can do it,
that looks
Chris.
like a very interesting mechanic. Do you ever transition some of the mechanics over to the
Ah,
live servers?
the
once
challenge is overwhelming.
The league is finished?
Certainly, yeah, it's something we've been doing occasionally when we
did it.
feel a mechanic is appropriate for the core game. For example, the last league, the Prophecy one, is being moved into the core game. So once you've killed a monster like this, you get the ability to pick up its essences, in this case the 2 that were on the monster. Now you'll notice these have a lot of words on them, and the reason why is because these are actually crafting items. So you can take these essences and you can make things with them. And
So that's it. And that's a higher level one, I assume, not just a tier 1.
And I'll give you an example here. Here's a series of the Woe essences. And these add spell damage, energy shield, and relatively, normal other mods. And as you progress through the levels, and I'm hovering over these slowly so people can take screenshots, you get a whole variety of different.
Wow. Guaranteeing a property of that much spell damage on a one-hand weapon, for example, that's pretty fucking huge. Those ES numbers on a shield to max energy, Jesus. Yeah.
different escalating effects, and they essentially let you craft items. And the way this works is it's like an Orb of Alchemy in that it upgrades an item, but it will guarantee a specific mod. So for example, the Deafening Essence of Greed
Hmm.
lets me guarantee that when I roll this helmet, I'm
Do
going
it.
to get a life
Do
mod.
it.
Now those are the magic words the community is looking for. Guaranteed life on armors. Now the rest of the mods are random. They're probably
enough.
junk. You have to roll a lot of rare items to get good ones, but you're seeing a lot of these essences. You're getting on average 1 per area, sometimes 2, and that means that when you play through the game, you get hundreds of chances of item crafting with guaranteed mods. To demonstrate this one here, I can re-roll the helmet,
102 or 130.
and it guaranteed
Okay.
the maximum life. Re-rolling again, different mods guaranteed maximum life.
That's pretty
To give
good.
another example, this horror essence is really hard to obtain. In fact, it can
Really hard to obtain. Oh, I don't like the sound of that. Yep, that's business as usual though. It's
only be obtained by a process of corrupting other essences.
corrupting other. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
And that involves finding the monsters trapped in the crystals and applying one of these remnants of corruption. And then you have
Corrupts the essence trapping monster modifying option. Ah,
several
Jesus.
outcomes you can get. You can kind of gamble your essences away on the fight. So by corrupting this amulet here, I'm able to guarantee 15% increased effect
Yep.
of Fortify on you, which is a completely new effect that wasn't seen previously. There was no way on an amulet to make your Fortify better, but in the Essence League you're able to. So what we're seeing is challenging fights throughout the game, combined with a complicated crafting system of being able to guarantee specific mods that help your build.
Complicated crafting system of, yeah, RNG basically. I mean, really all it does is, yeah, like, talismans were pretty fucking sick, right? But to actually find a talisman with the right implicit and then actual good enough mods on it was, an absolute crapshoot. So you were much more likely to just get a reliable item from someone else. I don't know.
And the one final note to mention is that you're able to upgrade essences by finding 3 of a certain type. So if I get my 3 Whispering Essences of Woe, I can trade them into a vendor to get 1 Muttering Essence of Woe, and continue up the chain. And this means that it's possible, especially using the higher level essences you find in the endgame, to craft your way up to tier 7 essences like this, that offer values that are significantly
Oh man, that's gonna be depressing. Getting all the way up to Deafening Essence and then using it on an item and it turning into complete vendor trash.
higher than what people have seen elsewhere in the game.
So this is deepening the crafting system, which is in turn deepening the progression,
good, though, I
allowing you
think.
to customize your character to obscene amounts.
Yep.
I ask you to do this every time you come and show off the game,
Yes.
but can you open the skill star map, as I like to call it?
Absolutely.
Just to kind of show, this was in the vanilla launch of the game, which you have since refined, but I mean, this system, daunting at first may it be, you can really tailor your character and the rest of the game in terms of its progression, and everything else is echoing that sentiment of allowing you to really create the character that you want to.
Alright, let's see Chris Wilson's build. So, yeah, he's a champion, so he doesn't like DPS. Got all kinds of cool nodes there. Yeah, yeah.
Want to create, and choosing a starting class, it doesn't just, it doesn't give you a specific set of abilities. It puts you somewhere on a starting zone on this whole map,
Yes.
which I think is very interesting. So
Yep.
that's Path of Exile, that's Atlas of Worlds, and when can we expect to see that?
So you can play it on September 2nd. We're releasing it then alongside the Essence Challenge League, and we're looking forward to playing alongside you.
Wonderful. For all things Path of Exile, keep it right here on IGN.
Very difficult. YouTube comments. Still enjoying so much of Prophecy. I see. Alright, well, I mean, that's fun, yeah. Yeah, also I see that. People are saying they work exactly like Chaos Orbs, and by using Masters you can lock 2 good prefixes on a Regalia and get 3 T1s for just 1 essence. Yeah, that could work out, eh? Yeah, I think it will make the crafting
Maybe.
rather interesting in certain cases. Speaking of which, I need to craft me a new fucking shield.